Let's now have a look at the practical example of exceptions and what they really mean and where they come from. So I have here a short, simple sample code where I have two variables x and y, which are both integer type, and then somewhere in my code I'm calculating a quotition of these two numbers. So I'm dividing x with y, and these two numbers they are asked on the user. So I just demonstrate how it works. So I run the program. It asks from the user for two numbers. I give them 10 and then another number 2, so it calculates the quotient of the numbers you gave is 5. So it works perfectly like this. But if the user would enter here something which is not a valid number, so namely if the second number would be 0, then what happens here in my program is that at this place there would be the calculated 10 divided by 0. And everyone knows from the mathematical studies, even from the lower grades, you know that you cannot divide with 0. So that's illegal. That's just not a routine that you can do. And that's the same with with the computers. So computers are not able to calculate for the division between any number if it's divided with 0. And okay, on this place, what happens when y is 0 and this quotation should be calculated here is that the computer, the program, does not know what to do. So should it now report this somehow, or should I write here some specific sign or what? So namely the number, the value of this quotation now is infinite, and there's no way the program can code the number infinite into the memory. So therefore there's no solution. Then what happens is that the moment this error is being detected, the code running is being terminated immediately, and a message is being sent that now there is an error, so please help us, I'm now in trouble. That's what the code says. So this message goes, but as there is no way, no structure which would take care of this message, then the program terminates and leaves this error. So I have here an error which says divide by 0 exception attempted to divide by 0. So it's very clear where the error comes from, but it just doesn't really comfort you if you have just used let's say 2 hours of your work time and now the computer program collapsed because of this error and lost all your data. So probably the user will be very sorry about that, and so it doesn't really comfort if this error message is shown. So how can we prevent this from happening so that the computer program would still stay alive and it would continue the work and not lose the whole 2 hours work I just done with this project here? So what can the programmer then do? Like said, so there is a way how to catch these error messages. So basically the exception here is a message that is being sent by the program when the error happens. So I try wrapping the code where the error might happen, namely here, inside a try block. So I put here a try block around that line of code where the error may happen. And then I put here a catch block, which will at least not let the program to terminate, but it will keep it alive. So I just write here some message for the user. User is, of course, the user also cannot do anything about it. Let's say I have here some other things that I would do next. For example, like this. So this could be anything that supposed to do next. Okay, so if I try the code again with the try block and the catch block, what happens if I still use the value 0 for the second number? So now the program did not terminate, so it doesn't die. Instead it stays alive, and okay, in this case tells to the user that error happened and the program continues somehow. So this way I can prevent the program from terminating completely, and I can even tell the user of the program that why did not this process now what I was trying to do, why didn't it succeed? Well, of course, this allow would not be enough, so probably I would also like to continue the process so that well, if the wrong number was given, then probably the user could try again, so try with second set of numbers and calculate the quotient. So why not having something like this while loop here, and I would have here a variable cont, which is a boolean type, and let's say is true in the beginning, so while the continue should happen, and I want to repeat all this here until the user gives a valid pair of x and y. So when the values are successful, so when x divided by y does not produce an error exception, then I will make the loop terminate. So in that case the variable cont will turn into false. So with this simple structure I can create a loop where I can be sure that at some place this operation, which is important here and what I'm trying to do, will be done to the end successfully, and once that is done, then the flag of is sent so that the while loop does not have to repeat anymore. Okay, and why is this working now is that if the error happens here, so that means the execution of the program will terminate immediately, and it will immediately jump into the catch block, so gets here. So therefore this line here will not be executed unless this line here is successfully executed. So that's the trick here, which is very important to know. Okay, demonstrate again the same thing. So on purpose I will give here some illegal value 0 again. So it tells me error happened, but then asks me to give the two numbers again. So now I can try again. I still give the wrong one. Probably the code should tell the user more explicit instructions, but okay, if I try with 10 and 5, then of course it's something that the program can calculate, and then the program can continue. So with this simple structure, try catch, I can prevent the program from terminating abnormally. I can keep the process alive, and with okay, for example here with the while loop I can repeat the action until it's successful. So quite simple solution for that.